going to talk about what you need to know about radios. So the first radio broadcast is called ATIS, ATIS, Automatic Terminal Information Service. It's a recording that some airports broadcast in order to reduce frequency congestion. ATIS provides essential, routine, and up-to-date information such as weather conditions, active runways, NOTAMs, in order to improve controller effectiveness and relieve frequency congestion. The next one is AWOS, AWOS, Automated Weather Observing System. So this is once again an airport weather broadcasting system that provides continuous real-time information and reports on airport weather conditions.
In this episode, I'll be talking to you about the ATIS, the ASOS, and the AWOS. By the end of this, you'll know the difference between the three of them and where to find them.
The ATIS stands for Automatic Terminal Information System. It's a weather reporting system that you can find at towered airports. Think T for towered. Different from the ASOS and the AWOS, this one's recorded by a person. It's recorded hourly, and usually about 10 to 15 minutes before the hour's up, you'll hear a new recording. You'll get lots of information that the pilot needs concerning that specific airport. One last thing about the ATIS, it reverts to ASOS after the tower closes. The ASOS is the Automated Surface Observation System. It's the primary surface weather observing system in the United States, and it's owned by the National Weather Service. It'll give you minute-by-minute updates, but unlike the ATIS, it does not give out NOTAMs. Then we have the AWOS, the Automated Weather Observation System. It's similar to the ASOS, but it's owned by the state or the airport, with generally less budget, less technology. You'll find these at smaller airports usually. You can receive this info 25 miles from the station or above 3,000 feet AGL. And if you can't get them on frequency, you can always use the phone. There's also 4 types of AWOS. You have AWOS A, 1, 2, and 3. You'll see these depicted on the VFR sectional charts.
Unicom, Universal Communications Station. It's an air-to-ground communication. The facility is operated by a non-air traffic control private agency to provide advisory service at uncontrolled aerodromes and airports. In some cases, the ground station is not staffed, and attempts to communicate will, of course, receive no acknowledgement. CTAF, Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, is the name given to UHF radio frequency used for air-to-air communications at U.S., Canadian, and Australian non-towered airports. Pilots use the common frequency to coordinate their arrivals and departures safely, giving position reports and acknowledging other aircraft in the airfield traffic pattern. So they announce over CTAF their intentions. I'm 5 miles out and I'm going to land on runway 53. Now CTAF may be a Unicom frequency, FSS, or tower frequency, and is identified in the appropriate aeronautical publications. The most common CTAF frequency is 126.7. Now, in your testing supplement, there is a portion, I think it's Appendix 1, that provides you all the information you need to decode a sectional chart about that airport and tells you what each of the symbols and other things mean. Look at this and use it because it's going to answer the majority of the questions associated with radios and sectional charts. So on a sectional chart, a C inside a circle, often magenta or white outline, depending on the chart, usually dark colored, indicates the common traffic advisory frequency. So during the test, they're going to send you to an airport and they're going to ask you, what is the AWAS frequency? Is the tower on at night or not? You should be able to take that appendix and translate the sectional chart to answer the questions. Permission. You really should have the tower phone number or a radio in case of emergency so you can effectively communicate a hazardous situation. When you file for a waiver, it will dictate what and who to communicate with about your flight. So typically it will give ATC's phone number and the frequency on the waiver. And so in this case, you would say Fort Lauderdale Tower, this is drone number, and that number comes from your waiver. We are initiating operations in such and such an area. So U.S. Chart Supplements, AFD, Airport Facilities Directory, is the most comprehensive information on a given airport and is provided by the U.S. Chart Supplement. So what does a C with a red circle? It means that the airport is closed certain hours, but the frequency doesn't change. So the Garrison Airport, you will always be speaking to them on 122.9 megahertz.
So here's a breakdown. CTAF is our Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, and it's what we use to talk to other pilots in other aircraft, where we are in the pattern and what our intentions are. And ultimately, it's there to keep us from bumping into each other. Unicom, on the other hand, is how we talk to someone on the ground. And that someone can give us a variety of information. Maybe weather information. You could get the current altimeter setting, the runway in use. You'll find the Unicom frequency printed on the chart.
Now, the last thing is the phonetic language. So A is Alpha, B is Bravo, C is Charlie, D is Delta, on to Zulu.
ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization, has adopted a phonetic alphabet that should be used in radio communications. When communicating with ATC, which is Air Traffic Control, pilots should use this alphabet to identify their aircraft. A Alpha, B Bravo, C Charlie, D Delta, E Echo, F Foxtrot, G Golf, H Hotel, I India, J Juliet, K Kilo, L Lima, M Mike, N November, O Oscar, P Papa, Q Quebec, R Romeo, S Sierra, T Tango, U Uniform, V Victor, W Whiskey, X X-Ray, Y Yankee, and Z Zulu.
You're expected to use those codes because they are considered easier to understand than just the letters.